2024 iPad Air, she's got the looks, she's easy on the wallet, but here's why you might want to think twice. First off, it's heavier than the Pro. Second, you're stuck with this 60Hz display, no ProMotion magic here. And third, there is no M4 chip. I get it, some of you are torn between the 13-inch iPad Air or the 11-inch iPad Pro because you want that big screen and the Apple Pencil Pro without breaking the bank. But before you decide, let's dive into these potential deal breakers, and by the end, hopefully you have a clearer idea of whether you should get the Air or the Pro. If you're new here, my name is Mindy, a huge Apple nerd, and on this channel, we love to break down and compare the different Apple products to help you figure out the best one for your life. Let's dive in. First, the weight differences. In 2024, very ironically, the iPad Air is no longer the lightest option out there. For the 11-inch range, the M4 iPad Pro is thinner and 22 grams lighter, and for the 13-inch range, the Pro is 38 grams lighter and also the thinnest iPad out there. But those are just numbers. More importantly, can you actually feel the difference? For me, it's an instant yes, this is so much lighter. Every time I lift this up, I always get a nice surprise at just how light and thin and yet how powerful it is. But when they're in my backpack, the extra weight of the iPad Air is barely noticeable. Next, the iPad Pro flaunts a 120Hz ProMotion display with tandem OLED, meaning everything feels buttery smooth and the colors are very vibrant, they really pop. Whereas the iPad Air sticks with a 60Hz display. It's decent, but once you go ProMotion, it's very hard to go back. And this is one of the main reasons why it is so hard for me to recommend the Air. Because after using my 2018 iPad Pro for the past 5-6 years, whenever I switch to using the Air, the difference is very noticeable. Air feels like an old technology, it feels slower. So for anything that has scrolling, typing, drawing, or anything that involves interacting with the screen, it's way nicer using the Pro than the Air. But hey, if you've never experienced ProMotion before, the Air is decent enough. Next, the chips. iPad Air rocks the M2 chip. While that is impressive, the iPad Pro steps it up with the new and latest M4 chip, and it's impressive because this is the first time we see the M4 chip in any Apple device. And if you're into the heavy-duty stuff like video editing on the iPad, which is not for me, then the M4 iPad Pro is going to be your new best friend. But then again, it is ultimately still a tablet. Do we actually need so much power in this? Which brings me to the next big question. Is this going to be your main device, or is it going to be complementing your computers? If this is going to be a main device, you really cannot go wrong with the new M4 iPad Pro. It has a more advanced chip than the Air, making it faster, longer lasting, and very, very future-proof. And with how fast tech is just zooming forward with AI, the M2 right here might just struggle a little bit more with the future apps compared to an M4 iPad Pro. But it isn't quite as dramatic as it sounds. Sure, the M4 iPad Pro will definitely outlast the M2, but the fact is this is my 2018 iPad Pro, and this is still a beast, and I bet this will keep on going strong for another 5 years or maybe more. So the point is, whether you choose the M2 Air or the M4 Pro, they'll both serve you for a very long time, possibly up to 10 years. You'll likely want to upgrade out of sheer desire before either actually dies on you. Which brings us to this. The price and depreciation. It's not a secret that Apple products holds up its value. I once sold my 3-year-old iPhone for 40% of its original price, so both of them will definitely hold up their value. But let's just break down the cost of this for clarity. The iPad Air 13-inch is going to cost us $1,349, while the iPad Pro 11-inch is going to cost us $1,499. And if you plan to use them for 10 years, that is $135 per year for the Air versus $149 per year for the Pro. Essentially, you're paying about $1 more each month for the Pro's extra features like the 120Hz OLED display, better cameras, and the overall longer lifespan. If you're a digital artist that needs that extra screen space and you're on a budget, the iPad Air 13-inch is gonna be a solid choice for you. However, for me, the 120Hz OLED screen on the Pro just wins. Because of that, I would 100% go for the Pro and pick the lowest end model just to save some money. Which brings us to how we use the iPad. What kind of apps do we need? Because this, to me, is the most important factor in deciding Pro or Air. Personally, I use the iPad for note-taking, sketching ideas, taking beginner Procreate lessons, and the Air would be able to handle all of that without a hitch. However, I already own the 2018 iPad Pro, and this is still so incredibly powerful. It does all of that, and I don't think I am willing to give up the buttery smooth 120Hz screen for the Air. So for me, I'm sticking with the Pro and not upgrading to any of this. If you want to find out more about why I'm not upgrading, you can check this video out. Overall, I think if your current iPad is still doing wonders, the battery life is still good, and you don't intend to take it further, like make it your main device, then I don't really think you need to upgrade. But if you are upgrading, here's my thoughts. For the everyday user, for people who don't push their iPads to the limit, the Air is honestly more than enough. And if you're using the iPad professionally, like what my tattoo artist does, then you will really appreciate the speed and the power of the iPad Pro. The faster chip means it handles everything without lag, making it a very reliable work machine. And when the iPad is one of your main working machine, you probably want something that doesn't slow down, and hence I picked the iPad Pro for all the professional stuff. Extra money that you invest in this will eventually pay off in the long run. And for students, or if you're mostly using the iPad to take notes, read, this one is for you. Well, if you're on a budget and you want a bigger screen, 13-inch Air is a solid choice. The extra screen really makes it very nice to work on and read, but if you need something more portable, the 11-inch is your go-to. And hey, once you graduate and get a job, you can always upgrade to the Pro later on. But I'm curious, which one are you picking, the Pro or the Air? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, you definitely have to check out this one right here where we dive into the 2018 versus the M4 iPad Pro. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay minty and cheery. Goodbye!